Attachments on the femur. We will see the attachments on the femur from the upper end of the femur. As you know, upper end of the femur has a head, the neck, the greater trochanter and the lesser trochanter. We will see the attachments on the head first. This is the fovea. The fovea provides attachment to the ligament of the head of the femur or the ligamentum teres femoris. The rest of the head is covered with the capsule of the hip joint and also the neck. Attachments on the greater trochanter are the anterior surface of the greater trochanter provides attachment to the gluteus minimus muscle. The lateral surface of the greater trochanter, it has a ridge which provides attachment to the gluteus medius muscle, and the area behind this ridge on the lateral surface, it provides attachment to the gluteus maximus muscle. The other attachments on the greater trochanter are this trochanteric fossa. It provides insertion to the obturator externus muscle, and this rough surface on the medial surface of the greater trochanter, it provides attachment to the surface, provides attachment to the obturator internus muscle with two gemelli muscles. The apex of this greater trochanter, it provides attachment to the piriformis muscle. Come to the posterior surface, this intertrochanteric crest present between this greater trochanter and the lesser trochanter, it has this the quadrate tubercle. The quadrate tubercle provides insertion to the quadratus femoris muscle. Come to this lesser trochanter. This lesser trochanter, apex of this lesser trochanter provides attachment to the psoas major muscle, and the base, it provides insertion to the fibers of the iliacus muscle. Together these two muscles, they are known as iliopsoas muscles. So these are the main attachments on the upper end. Other important attachments on the upper end of the femur are, this is the intertrochanteric line present on the anterior aspect. The upper part of this intertrochanteric line provides attachment to the upper band of the iliofemoral ligament, and this lower part of this intertrochanteric line provides attachment to the lower band of the iliofemoral ligament, which is one of the strongest ligaments of the body. Other attachments on this intertrochanteric lines are, the upper part of this intertrochanteric line provides attachment to the highest fiber of the vastus lateralis muscle, and the lower part of this intertrochanteric line provides attachment to the highest fiber of the vastus intermedius muscle. So these are the attachments on the upper end of the femur. Now come to the shaft. The main attachments on the shaft of the femur are the anterior surface. The upper two-thirds of the anterior surface here, it is covered with the vastus intermedius muscle. Now come to the posterior aspect. Most of the attachments on the shafts are there on the posterior aspect. Here you can see the linea aspera with its two lips. So we will go from medial to lateral aspect. So the upper end of the medial lip of the linea aspera, it provides attachment to the adductor longus muscle. Then medial to it, on the upper part, starting from this lesser trochanter to the line extending to the linea aspera, it provides attachment to the pectineus muscle. Then between the adductor magnus and pectineus muscle, there is attachment of the adductor brevis muscle, and here on the upper part, here you can see the gluteal tuberosity. So the adductor longus muscle here, adductor magnus muscle here, actually it is attached on the gluteal tuberosity. It goes downwards towards the medial medial condylar line, and it is attached on the adductor tubercle. So the adductor magnus muscle, as you can see, it has an extensive course here, starting from the medial lip of the gluteal tuberosity to the medial lip of linea aspera, medial condylar supracondylar line, and this adductor tubercle. Above the adductor tubercle and on the supracondylar line, it has the adductor hiatus, which provide passage to the popliteal vessels here. Other attachments here are the medial lip of the linea aspera. It provides attachment to the medial intermuscular septum, and the lateral lip of the linea aspera, here it provides attachment to the lateral intermuscular septum. Here also the medial lip of linea aspera, it provides attachment to the lower fibers of the vastus medialis muscle, and lateral lip of linea aspera provides attachment to the vastus lateralis muscle. Here also between the adductor magnus and vastus lateralis muscle, the posterior surface, lateral aspect of the posterior surface, it provides attachment to the short head of the biceps femoris muscle here, which also extend downwards towards this lateral supracondylar line. So these are the main attachments on the posterior surface of the shaft of the femur. Again, if we see from the medial to lateral aspect, the attachments are the adductor longus, pectineus, adductor brevis, adductor magnus, vastus lateralis muscle, and the short head of the biceps muscle here. So these are the attachments on the shaft of the femur. Now come to the lower end of the femur. On the anterior aspect, the lower end of the femur is covered with the capsule of the knee joint. On the posterior aspect, the lower end, posterior surface of the lower end is known as the popliteal surface, which is devoid of any attachments, and it is filled with pad of fat here, except for its medial surface here. The medial surface of the medial part of the popliteal surface here provides attachment to the medial head of the gastrocnemius muscle, and also this medial supracondylar line here, it provides attachment to the plantaris muscle. So these are the main attachments on the popliteal surface. Attachments on the condyle are, here you can see the popliteal groove on the lateral condyle. This popliteal groove in its anterior deep part provides attachment to the popliteus muscle here, and these two condyles, epicondyles, they provide attachment to the medial and lateral collateral ligaments here. So these are the main attachments on the femur.